Hello guys, welcome to AK Science with me, Mr. Elsmore. Today we're going to learn about the body's defence mechanisms against pathogens.
Okay guys, the first thing you need to do is complete this BBC Bitesize quiz. If you follow the link, it's below in the video description, and then you can send your teacher the score. Think about whether you remembered the work from week 1 or week 2. If you didn't, you must revise this. Make sure that you know it inside and out. Okay, lessons 2 and 3. How can we stop pathogens getting in? What we need you to do is to draw the outline of a human body like a gingerbread man. It doesn't have to be as fancy as the one on the slide. And then you need to label all the barriers the body has to prevent the entry of pathogens. Try to give an explanation for how each one works. Pause the video and have a go at this for 5 minutes. Your title today is Human and Plant Defense Systems. Your objectives are to identify the non-specific defense systems of both plants and humans, describe the action of white blood cells in specific immunity, and explain the mechanism of antibodies. How can pathogens enter our body? Let's go through the answers. And going through your mouth and nose, you can breathe them in like coronavirus. They can go in through the genitals in sexual intercourse like gonorrhea in the previous lesson. You can be bitten by insects or flies known as vectors like malaria from last lesson, and open wounds or cuts in the skin can go in through your mouth, eating contaminated food or drinking contaminated water like cholera and like salmonella in the previous lesson, and using contaminated needles and syringes. That's how HIV and hepatitis are often spread, and through your eyes and through your ears. Let's have a look at how your body stops it. So in your ears, you've got earwax that's got antimicrobial chemicals in there and microbes get trapped in there. You've got the skin, which acts as a big impenetrable barrier. You've got scabs, they're there to patch up the barrier when it gets broken, when you get cut. You've got hydrochloric acid and enzymes in your stomach that dissolve pathogens. You've got eyelashes to prevent things getting in your eyes, and tears if they do get in your eyes. Whenever you get poked in the eye, have you ever wondered why your eye waters? It's to use tears to flush it out mechanically and to break down things chemically. It's got an enzyme called lysozyme in there which breaks down bacterial cell walls. We've got nose hair to prevent things going up your nose. We've got cilia cells in your trachea. They're little cells that have got little projections on the surface, look a bit like hairs, that can move mucus out of your mouth. The mucus traps the microbes, and the cilia move them out up through your trachea into your mouth, and then it either gets swallowed or goes through your nose and gets blown into a tissue. You've got blood. In your blood, you've got different types of white blood cell that can help to kill pathogens by either ingesting them, swallowing them, or they can make antibodies to deactivate them or mark them for destruction. Next thing we need to do is copy down this table and find out how each part works to defend the body. Pause the video while you have a go at this. Time to go through the answers. Scabs are formed by platelets. They make a barrier to prevent microbes entering your body. In the eyes, you've got eyelashes to prevent microbes from entering, and tears dry up microbes due to the high salt content, as well as having lysozyme in there, and there's a bit of a flushing effect of tears. Stomach acid, that kills any microbes that have entered through food or water, or at least most of them, not salmonella apparently. Nose hair is there to trap and block microbes from entering. Mucus and cilia. Mucus sticks to the microbes, cilia sweep the microbes away in the mucus. Skin is a barrier to prevent the microbes entering the body, and white blood cells can either engulf, it's like eat, or produce antibodies or antitoxins to deal with the microbes. The immune system. If a pathogen enters the body, the immune system tries to destroy the pathogen. They do this in one of 3 ways: either phagocytosis, antibody production, or antitoxin production. White blood cells can detect pathogens and phagocytose them. That means they engulf them and surround them. There's a little challenge at the bottom for how is phagocytosis, a bit like Pac-Man, if you know the game Pac-Man. And there's a video link about phagocytosis. Antibody production. A white blood cell can recognise a pathogen and produce specific antibodies for the antigen or pathogen. The antibodies kill the bacteria. So antibodies are proteins that bind to antigens or surface proteins on the pathogens. There's a challenge question here saying, why can't one type of antibody for Salmonella kill MRSA? Antitoxin production. The white blood cells produce antitoxins that counteract the toxins produced by invading bacteria. So the bacteria make these toxins that are harmful to our cells. White blood cells can make antitoxins that then bind to these toxins produced by the microbe and neutralize them. If a pathogen tries to enter the body, the immune system tries to destroy the pathogen. They do this in one of three ways: phagocytosis, antibody production, or antitoxin production. There are some keywords that are going to help you at the top. You need to produce a cartoon strip with one section on phagocytosis, the other one on antibody production, and the other one on antitoxin production. And your challenge is to describe ways in which specific immune responses are different from non-specific immune responses. Pause the video and have a go at that. Okay, so we've got some practice questions now. 1. White blood cells produce antibodies. This is one way white blood cells protect us against pathogens. Give 2 other ways that white blood cells protect us against pathogens. Answer time. They can either produce antitoxins or they can engulf, ingest, digest pathogens or viruses or bacteria, microorganisms in general. Question 2. The body's immune system protects us from diseases. Describe and explain the different ways in which white blood cells protect us from infectious disease. Pause the video and have a go at that one. Okay, answers. These are the ways that they can protect us from infectious disease. Next, you need to think about, can you describe the body's first line defences? Describe what white blood cells do. Explain how the immune system defends against disease. Explain why antibodies are specific for one pathogen or antigen. Pause the video and have a go at this now. Okay, now it's time for a progress check. Question 1 says, the body's immune system protects us from diseases. Describe the different ways in which white blood cells protect us from infectious diseases. It's a 4-mark question. Question 2. The photograph below shows human skin, highly magnified. Groups of microbes can be seen on the skin. Give 2 ways in which the body protects itself from these microbes. Question 3. A young child goes to school for the first time. Soon after, the child gets a cold and a sore throat. Explain as fully as you can what causes the child's illness. B says, the doctor tells the child's mother that children often get ill when they start school and mix with other children. Why is the child more likely to get an infectious illness when he or she starts school? C. The child gets better without taking any medicine. Explain how.
Well done for all your hard work today. Don't forget to send your work to your teacher and don't forget to do your tasks. Keep up the hard work, guys, and we'll see you soon.